fuck is Johnny posed like that? I didn't put him like that. Fuck Marvel. Still on the BDS boycott list. Okay, anyway, welcome back to another episode of Last Week in Comics, where I talk about the last week in comics. And although it was a short week, it had a lot for me to talk about. Okay, let's get started with my favorite gays, the Secret Six. So issue 5 came out this week, because although Pride Month was last month, there's still gays out there. There's still gays who are menacing. They find Amanda Waller, finally. Well, they find Amanda Waller. Turns out that she was being held by Banshee. Not the Banshee that's dating Jimmy Olsen, but the other one. So Banshee's holding her, and then she's like, oh, hey, we're gonna erase her memories, so she's like a hollow shell of the woman that she was. Do you guys wanna, like, help us do that, and we'll let you go? And then, for some reason, Dreamer's like, even though, her plan was to kill her, she was like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna... Dreamer was like, I'm gonna get your ass. And then, so they break out Amanda Waller, and then they run back into Jay, who is like, oh, so turns out the entire reason that the U.S. government went after my country, and, like, you know, killed my mom, and, like, completely took it over was because it wasn't even about us. We were just a proxy. Like, the thing that I don't think a lot of Jay haters get about him is that he is, like, his country is a stand-in for what happened to a lot of Southeast Asian countries, specifically, like, after World War II, during Vietnam, like, how much we were colonized by America. That's who he represents as a person, which is why it's so vindicating to see him, like, fuck up the entire security guard, and then be like, Dreamer, so they show up with Amanda Waller to him after he finds this out. And then he's like, let's fucking kill her now. I'm done. We're gonna fucking kill her. But then Dreamer's like, no, wait. I have this, like, head thing that's gonna erase her entire consciousness. And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And I think it's so funny. It's so funny seeing, like, Secret Six when, like, it first started coming out, where everyone was like, oh, is John gonna cheat on Jay? Oh, is John, Nia, Jay gonna happen? Oh, is John and Nia gonna get together and he's gonna break up with Jay, or Jay and John gonna break up? I think it's so funny that by issue 5, we have Jay and Nia teaming up and being like, we're gonna do some irreparable damage that's gonna directly, like, have John be going, like John Kent has not been, like, in this issue, so, like, it's Black Alice, Deadshot, and Dreamer, and then Jay, who wasn't captured, but, like, they meet back up with him later. I feel like the second that John gets back to this, he's gonna be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? We could reach John, Jay, and Nia. If, like, John gets really cool about a lot of shit really fast. Is Secret Six good? Of course it fucking is. What else did I want to say about this issue? So, Secret Six only has one more issue left. I personally really do want this to become a full-on ongoing with Nicole Maines on it. I think that this team dynamic's really interesting. I like how overall, like, all of the, like, you know, the three main queers have now, like, kind of, like, accepted their role with, like, they were slowly, like, figuring out how to, like, trust, like, Black Alice, Deadshot, and Catman, and, like, forming kind of, like, a bond with them, and I think, like, having them be, like, this queer Black Ops team would be the fucking coolest thing. Like, I don't think that they should work for, like, Amanda Waller. No, we're not doing the Suicide Squad again. I think that they should work... They're just out there getting justice for people. They don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, you decided to, like, dismantle Gamora, Jay's home country? We're gonna come for your asses and we're gonna beat you up. We're not gonna kill you. We're gonna make you live with the consequences of your actions. And I think that's fun. Or maybe I just want, like, this team dynamic to, like, stay. It's very good. The really interesting thing I saw recently with, like, a lot of people in my comment section when they see the Secret Six book, they're like, this book has made me really like Jay Nakamura. And, like, he is literally... Okay, I know everyone gets on Bernard. Everyone thinks that Bernard's boring. And then they decide to put Jay into that same category and, like, no. No, Jay's not boring at all. Even when he was being written by Tom Taylor, like, his entire thing was, like, hey, I'm invulnerable. Like, I was experimented on. I'm now invulnerable. You don't have to worry about protecting me. That's not what you have to do with me, John. And I think that's such an interesting dynamic to give a Superman character, is like, hey, you have this partner who's intangible. They're still gonna get up to shit, and specifically with Jay, he's like he is John's equivalent to Lois Lane, by which I mean he's also a Lois Lane fanboy, and I love that about him. But, like, he is the equivalent. He is the more, like, I need to get justice, I need to, like, whatever means necessary. And I love him so much, and I'm so glad that this book has, like, allowed more people to see Jay for, like, the amazing character he is. Like, he's not another Bernard where he barely shows up and, like, he's boring half the time. No, Jay Nakamura is Gossamer. He's a fucking superhero. He's a badass. I love him. And I need him to be in more things. Like, I know a lot of people were like, oh, John and Jay should break up. Because they think, like, oh, they're falling into, like, the same trope that, like, a lot of, like, gay couples at both companies kind of fall into, where they get together and then nothing really major happens with their relationship, and, you know, there's no, like, real conflict. But, like, that's not the case here. With Secret Six almost wrapping, I do recommend that if you have not started it yet, get the trade when it comes out. It's an amazing book. Nicole Maines is a great writer, and if you want more of specifically Jay Nakamura, I do recommend reading Nicole Maines' previous book, Suicide Squad: The Dream Team, which is kind of like Tom Taylor's Superman's good. Fun fact though, despite, like, not reading Tom Taylor's Superman, Son of Kal-El, I do have John and Jay's First Kiss. Like, I just bought that because I was like, okay, I'm gonna have it. And then I turned out to be such a big Jay Nakamura fan. Out of all the books that came out of All In, I definitely do think, like, Secret Six has been, like, my number one, and I'm going to be so sad when it ends next month. But, like, also at the same time, now I can hold this up and be like, everyone go read this! Nicole Maines is so good. I really hope she gets a full ongoing. And whether that's a Dream or ongoing, a Jay ongoing, a John ongoing, just an ongoing, because she's one of the best up-and-coming writers at DC. She is why you should get, like, actors who really love these characters to write them, versus the one that Marvel has, which is, this is why you don't do this. But, like, Nicole Maines, she knows what she's doing. She knows her shit. I hope that after this they continue to give her books, and don't just do what they do with a lot of queer authors and just, you know, roll her out for Pride Month. No. Give Nicole Maines an ongoing right now. She has proved her worth. She didn't need to prove her worth, but she did! She did! And go buy Secret Six when it comes to trade if you haven't been collecting single issues. Jay Nakamura with a gun, man. Any book that has Jay Nakamura with a gun and he's pointing at people, 10 out of 10. It's happened more than you think. Okay, next up. So Batgirl #9 came out this week. So kind of the big thing with this issue is the introduction of Jade Tiger. A lot of people thought that, like, oh, when this person, or, you know, this character is going to be, like, related to Cassandra Cain's, like, parents, or specifically Lady Shiva, everyone thought, like, oh, it's probably, like, her cousin, because, you know, a big part of the series is that Shiva had a sister that died tragically, you know, like the past couple issues have all been about that, because the second half of the book was split up into, like, 2 mini arcs. When it was revealed that Jade Tiger was Cass's brother, there's a lot of controversy around that. And personally, for me, I don't mind it, but I understand a lot of the criticism, which is why I'm kind of, like, talking about it. You know, if it's criticism I understand, I'll be like, oh, they're fucking idiots. But, like, I kind of get it with this case. First off, I think that the way that they introduced Jade Tiger was probably the best possible way that they could have. Cass having a completely normal sibling who's like, oh my god, my sister's finally here! Oh my god, I've been wanting to meet you! And Cass being like, what the fuck is going on? Who the fuck are you? Yeah, that's accurate. That was perfect. Good job. Good job, Tate Bromwell. Which I also think that actually made a lot of people who were, like, on the on the, like, point of, like, oh, does Cass really need another sibling? I think that might have gotten a lot of people to turn, like, oh yeah, this is a good idea because it's funny. Personally, I still do wish that it was her cousin, but it is kind of funny how they introduce him. But then there's the other side of the coin where like DC has been doing this a lot recently with a lot of the Bat kids. Like Dick Grayson has a secret sibling. Jason Todd had a secret cousin. Damian's had like 2 different secret siblings, I'm pretty sure. It's either that or I'm misremembering the one from Robin's 2021. Or Robin 2021. Sorry, not to be confused with Robin's, that's a different book. Like, it does seem to be, like, a trend amongst these. And I do think, on one hand, it makes the most sense for Cassandra to have, like, an unknown sibling. Just because, like, her parents are not... They're not, like, dead. Like, a lot of other Bat family members, their parents are dead, so secret siblings are, like... Really? But, like, they're not dead. They're not together. It's like having another kid after your trauma with, like, the first one. Like, that's what it is. Like, you have, like, the second family that you actually love and appreciate. Like, that's what it is. But, like, I do understand, like, from that point, it does get, like, a little tiring. But also, then I saw this, like, recently, where people were like, it feels kind of weird with specifically Talia and Lady Shiva, when, like, you know, now, ever since that they became parents in the canon of Batman, that's kind of the only focus that they get anymore. Despite them being characters with this long-standing history. And as a Talia enjoyer, I understand that completely. Because, like, with both of these characters, these were strong female, like, villainess. Like, not so much in Talia's case. Talia was a good guy up until, like, fucking Grant Morrison got their dirty little hands on her. But, like, these were very, like, long, well-established characters who vehemently did not want kids. So, like, I understand it feels kind of weird to constantly give them kids, especially now that Shiva's dead. And she, more likely than not, with how Alfred's been turning up, she more likely than not will stay dead in current comics until maybe a Universal reboot, but, like, even then, DC seems to want to stray away from these after, you know, put a picture of 52 here. I think it's an alright concept. I just think that if it hadn't happened so many other times with other Bat family members, I think it would have probably been handled well, or better, you know? Because, like, also, I do feel like Shiva's the time, like, from what we saw in Shiva with Book of Shiva, it does kind of feel like she is a character who could eventually go on and, like, have a family with someone she actually loves and cares about. After all this, like, pushes Cassandra to the back of her mind. Like, that does seem possible for her as a character, versus, like, how they did it for Damian, where it's like, oh, there was another test tube baby, and it's like, what? All of the Damian clones should just not exist. That's my opinion. I get it a little bit more with Cass, but then there's also the concern, because Shiva's going to be dead now. I don't know. I like him. I like Jade Tiger. I hope that this is probably for the betterment of Lady Shiva as a character, and maybe helping her kind of get past, like, the fact that most of her appearances post Cassandra Cain's introduction have been surrounding Cassandra. Like, I want Lady Shiva to show up in good books again. Not that Batgirl isn't good, but, like, her only appearance, like, outside of being near Cass has been fucking Black Canary by Thomas King. Like, I want her to go back to being, like, this villain. I want her to go back to being, like, her own character. Because that was kind of, like, the thing about Cassandra, is that, like, she does not need Lady Shiva to be her mother. She has a mother. Her name is Barbara Gordon. So to kind of try and force that on her, it's... Speaking of Barbara Gordon, Birds of Prey number... what issue are we on? Oh, Birds of Prey number 23? Going off the last one, Barbara's no longer dead. It was kind of like a false herring so that she could regroup because someone had infiltrated them. And really the big thing that happens at the end is that, like, we brought everyone who's ever been on this Birds of Prey run to come and help us save Barda from, like, this evil organization. Why the fuck is John Constantine there? There's only one man who should ever be, like, on the Birds of Prey, and that's Ted Kord. And even then, he knows his fucking place. He knows his place is not front and center, but okay. I understand what they're doing, because it does seem like this Birds of Prey maybe isn't ending, but, like, Kelly Thompson is definitely going to leave it, which is good. I do like the fact that this book can continue past Kelly Thompson. I do think that more female writers being at DC is overall a good thing. I do hope that they kind of give it to one of their newer writers, or newer female writers, just to kind of, like, help them get started. I think Birds of Prey existing as that kind of book would be good. I've been enjoying it, like, so far. But yeah, Kelly Thompson has now done such amazing work with Absolute Wonder Woman. I do think that she just needs to be moved to mainline Wonder Woman, but, you know, like, her schedule is going to be pretty busy soon, so I understand. This Birds of Prey is probably ending. Wait, we have solicits until August. Is Birds of Prey ending?
A few moments later.
Okay. Kelly Thompson's at least on this book until issue 25. But, like, even with, like, issue 25, they're doing, like, the big, like, oh, here's everyone who's ever been in this comic on a cover. Oh, here, we brought Greg Land back to do, like, a cover like how he did for the original series. Like, it feels like Birds of Prey is about to end soon. Or at least get a new writer, or, like, do a number reboot, or, like, something. Like, this book has been good. I've enjoyed it. I do think that maybe what it needs is a fresh writer on it. Not necessarily because Kelly Thompson's getting stale, but I do feel like Birds of Prey is just one of those teams you just gotta keep the ball rolling. You can't keep Gail Simone on it forever. You can't keep, whoever fucking... Was it Greg Land who did the original one? No, Chuck Dixon. You can't keep Chuck Dixon on it forever. Like, you gotta keep the ball rolling. And it is very typical of Birds of Prey to, like, have a writer starting out and then switch it. I hope that that's the case. I don't want this book to end. Okay, and I skimmed through this one. I think I've lost interest in JSA. So JSA issue 9. The only thing I heard about this book was, like, oh, Khalid's written a little bit weird, and, like, Jeff Lemire should not be writing Khalid. And you know what? Yeah. I don't know. He does seem to be, like, a little off character. It does feel like he's just, like, generic kid who's now here. He's 21 and he's a doctor. Like, if anything, Khalid should be acting too mature for his age, but, oh well. So, basic plot, like, they finally figured out that the Obsidian's a fake Obsidian, and the real Obsidian is trying to break everyone out of, like, the place that they've been trapped in for the past couple issues with the help of, Our Man, the new one. I don't know, I feel like this book just kind of needs maybe a small, like, they do seem to be, like, honing in and, like, focusing on, like, a smaller cast of characters than they were at the beginning, but, like, I feel like there's just something missing about it, and maybe it's the fact that, you know, you don't have a Canary on it, you now don't have a Wildcat on it, although it seems like they're getting back the new Wildcat onto the team. You don't have a Stargirl on it, like, I feel like there's pieces of this missing, especially when we're leading up to both Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl, specifically Kendra, getting, like, a, you know, live-action appearance. I feel like putting them back on the team, especially since they don't really, like, okay, what, Mr. Terrific shows up for, like, a single panel on Justice League Unlimited. Like, they don't have, like, a really long-standing place. And, like, Kendra's been out of commission for, like, a couple issues now. I don't know. I feel like this JSA could be handled a little bit better. It's still good. I still hear good things about it. How you kind of sell books nowadays is it's either so good everyone's talking about it, you know, your Absolute Wonder Womans, your Absolute Martian Manhunters, or it's so vehement, it's so bad that people won't stop talking about it. I, like, look at literally anything Thomas King has done. Like, the worst thing you can be as a comic right now is mediocre. Like, okay, you're good, but, like, now you're not really bringing in new readers. A lot of the older ones are going to fall off eventually. So, like, what are we doing here? We need to keep the ball rolling. you know? That's kind of where I feel like JSA has, like, hit. Okay, now we're moving on to the books that I had no interest in reading. Mostly just had no interest in reading. But that's me personally. I'm not gonna fault anyone for not wanting to read these, except for one book, Gotham City Sirens, Unfit for Orbit. If you read this, I think you're the worst person alive, actually. I hate Leah Williams with, like, a burning passion, and they seem to only give Leah Williams, like, books where, like, oh, we're only making this so we can sell a lot of copies because we know that gooners will buy the covers. And, like, I fell victim to it when they gave Power Girl a series, but also, we hadn't had a Power Girl series in, like, forever, and I just wanted a Power Girl series. She's back on Gotham City Sirens again, and this one seems to be, like, a out-of-continuity, like, space adventure. Like, I've only heard, like, 2 things about this book. I kept on seeing this panel floating around where, like, Harley has, like, called Ivy, and she's doing, like, you know, Janet, who's from Poison Ivy's, or who's from the mainline Poison Ivy's book, and, you know, Harley Quinn's like, hiya, babe, what you doing? And Poison Ivy's like, Janet. And then people were like, oh, G. Willow Wilson has a cuck fetish. And I'm like, G. Willow Wilson isn't even writing this book. We all knew Leah Williams was like this. What are you talking about? Do not besmirch my favorite comic book writer, G. Willow Wilson's name. God damn it. Don't fucking come for her like that. Fuck you all. And the other thing is that I think people were like, there was a lot of conversation going about Harley Quinn's outfits. How she was getting better outfits in this than she was, like, in the mainline books. Like, and, like, honestly, her outfit in this, pretty fucking sick. It's a nice, like, kind of merging of, like, the more streetwear that most people know her for now with the iconic, like, kind of, like, gesture outfit. And, like, good job, whoever created this. But also, like, fuck this book. Fuck Leah Williams. I don't fucking like her. This is another one of those books. It's like the other Gotham City Sirens books where it's like, you are just here to sell covers. That's all your job is. That's all your fucking job is. Stop greenlighting these books. Please, for the love of God, DC. The other book that's gonna piss me the fuck off, because of course it is, it's Al Ewing's Absolute Green Lantern, which is the worst and weakest Absolute book, by far. Like, I've never heard anyone say something good about it. They're like, oh, just let Al Ewing cook. Just let him cook. He's getting somewhere. And he's not. He's not. Big thing, so, like, apparently, no, Abin Sur didn't kill everyone. They're sent to Oa now. So they're hopefully not dead. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Joe is still no longer a character. I know nothing about Joe in this book. Like, I think Al Ewing just assumed, like, oh, it's the Absolute Universe, everything stays the same, and it's like, no, you took Jo out of, like, her entire story and put her, like, as a cop. Like, no, that's not what's happening here. We need to know what this Jo has been up to in the years that would have been dedicated to her being in the military. You know, of course she is. And, like, being a Green Lantern. We need more of her. Like, I don't know what her fucking deal is. This is a fucking Hal Jordan book that you're trying to pretend is in a Hal Jordan book. And speaking of Hal Jordan, we got a first look at Hector Hammond and Carol Ferris, which, if it shows you how much Al Ewing hates women, Carol Ferris. Okay, Carol Ferris is a woman who is in charge of her own company. She was raised by, like, a military dad, so she has a very strong sense of who she is as a person, and she also has a lot of gender identity issues. Case in point, why sometimes she's a man in things. It's a whole thing. Like, it's a very important and key point of Carol's character. She wants to be the head of the company. She wants to be in charge. That's what pisses her off so much about Hal Jordan as a person. And so what did Al Ewing do with this headstrong character, you know, in this military crisis, like, who owns her own fucking Air Force company? Oh, she's a secretary to Hector Hammond. What the fuck? Like, this is case in point why Al Ewing hates women. Case in fucking point. He took this character with this very strong sense of self, who likes being put in charge. She likes being the CEO of things. She wants to be the CEO of Ferris Industries. And she is now the secretary to that guy whose head blew up real big in fucking Green Lantern 2011. Yes, that's all I know Hector Hammond as. I don't give a fuck. I don't like Green Lantern like that. The only Green Lantern I respect is Guy Gardner, Simon Baz, and Jessica Cruz. That pissed me the fuck off, and that made me like, we're done with Absolute Green Lantern. I will actually, I'm going to my comic book shop tomorrow, on Saturday. I'm literally going to go in, make sure I don't have Absolute Green Lantern on my pull list. Like, I'm making sure that shit's gone completely. I'm done. Ellie Ewing, go kick rocks. Fucking sick of you. You guys watch Ash and Their Fantastic Friends. You know that, like, my entire, like, podcast is, like, huge fucking Carol heads. So to just see her, like, she has lines, yeah. But it's just exposition. She has no actual character. She's just, oh, I'm Hector Hammond's fucking, like, secretary, girlfriend, whatever. And Hector Hammond's just doing a fucking Tony Stark bit. What the I want Al Ewing gone. Fire him, DC. Like, if I was put in charge of editorial at DC, I would just fire Al Ewing. They would be gone. Al Ewing would just be fucking gone. Al Ewing is not worth the amount you're paying him. Pay Eve Ewing to write this book, and it would be like a 10 out of 10 banger right now. Okay, next up. Book I have not read. I have heard good things about this. Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, #4. It's one of those Black Label books. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I definitely think that if you're looking for something more like, oh yeah, it's Ram V's. That's why I've heard good things about it, because Ram V fucking rules. But, like, if you're wanting something that's, like, in the realm of superheroes, but not really, like, you know, capes and lanterns and all that kind of stuff, I definitely recommend checking it out. I've never read a bad Ram V book. They've always been good. Then for your kids, because kids should not be watching my channel, if you're looking to buy comics for your kids or children in your life, Teen Titans Go! issue 5 just came out. It's probably, I do think that these are all, like, independent stories, so, like, you can kind of just jump in whenever. I think, overall, I like the fact that kids' comics exist. I've always been of that opinion, because that's how I got into comics. So, like, if you're looking for how to get your children into comics, kids' comics. Easiest fucking thing in the world. Bring back Tiny Titans, DC. I want them back. So we're so, like, accessible for, like, Tiny Titans is not only accessible for kids to read, it's also accessible for kids to start understanding the structure of comics, like, as a medium, and I think, like, that's lost on a lot of people who, like, make comics nowadays. Like, Supergirl now does it, where, like, it kind of teaches you how to understand comics, but, like, Tiny Titans is, like, a easier version of that you can start people off early. We also have this book, which I think is kind of funny, Aquaman, Air Jaws Allies. So this is an Aquaman book. Like, it says issue 1. I think it's just a one-shot, though. Maybe it's multiple series, but it's coming out for Shark Week, which I think is so fucking funny. I love it when DC does this, when they partner up with, like, television companies to, like, release books. They did it with AEW. Not that long ago, where they did, like, AEW, like, comics in the back of some of their issues. I don't know what happened to it, because I don't think they released the Orange Cassidy one, and that one was the one I was looking forward the most to, because I fucking love Orange Cassidy. By the way, if you want to hear me do more wrestling talk, tell me. I want to talk more about wrestling. Like, I'm literally wearing a Cody Rhodes shirt right now. Like, I want to talk about wrestling, but, like, tell me that you want that so I don't, like, switch genres completely and then, like, everyone's, like, mad at me and they're like, why did you stop talking about comics? Because that's what happened after Miss Marvel, and I don't think I emotionally recovered. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, Shark Week. I think that this is a fun comic. I think it's a fun idea. Since Shark Week is coming out, please go to Outback Steakhouse. They're gonna have the little sharks that you can pour into Sprite and, like, make your own, like, it's like a Shirley Temple, but, like, it's like a shark one, and you get to keep the shark. We still have ours from last year. I want to go back and get more sharks. Apparently they have different colors sometimes. I'm hoping that they have the sharks back. Right now, whenever we go to Outback, it's, like, the little koala floaty, like, little koala ducks, and we have, like, a lot of them. But, like, I want the sharks and the crocodiles back. What was I talking about? So now we are moving on to some indie books I want to shout out, because remember, if you have a writer at DC or Marvel that you really love and appreciate, they are probably making more off of their indie books than they are their mainline series. So go check them out over there. especially with the Marvel boycotts that are still going on. Don't fucking read Marvel. Starting off with Image Comics. Okay, so the one I really want to shout out, G.I. Joe Real American Hero 318. Oh, it's a Storm Shadow issue. My dad fucking loves Storm Shadow. I love Storm Shadow and, like, the fucking Ninja Clan. So, like, it's gonna be a good read. Like, I need to, like, physically go to my comic book shop. Ooh, Boom! Okay, so from Boom Studios, we have Power Rangers Prime number 8. Boom Studios Power Ranger stuff honestly has been, like, 10 out of 10 hits every single time. The art in them is all amazing. They do a really good job, like, adapting the Super Sentai suits into, like, 2D. And also, just the storylines are really deep. Like, if you were a fan of Power Rangers, there is something really, like, good in them. Like, the stories of all the Rangers kind of, like, have matured because they're in, like, this, you know, format where they don't have to rely on just stock footage. So it's been a really great time. They also have a lot, like, Power Rangers Academy, who is geared more to, like, a kind of preteen audience that's also really good. Honestly, go read Power Rangers. If you also want to see, like, more of Dan Mora's art, Dan Mora got his start in Power Rangers books. And they're all bangers. I fucking love his Power Rangers art. Ooh, also crazy. So Dark Horse Comics actually has a new Ghostbusters series right now. It's called Ghostbusters Dead Man's Chest. I assume it's pirate themed. I do love how indie studios are adapting a lot of these, like, TV and movie properties into comics. I think it's great. I also think that it allows for a lot more complexities of the universe to be shown. So, hey, Ghostbusters, cool. Because that last movie fucking sucked. It was not good. Stop fucking making Ghostbuster movies. Just stick to comics. And then last, but certainly not least, from my favorite indie publisher, IDW, we have another issue of Godzilla Heist. Fuck yeah! I still need to read it. Still need to fucking read it. Let me look at this one. Oh fuck, Mechagodzilla's here! It's a fucking heist taking place during Mechagodzilla? Fucking love Godzilla Heist. I cannot, like, I don't know how long this series is going to last. I assume a trade paperback's coming soon. Go pick it up. This has been, like, a great time. I just always read it after I film these videos because the only thing that gets you views on TikTok is DC Comics. So I have to go read those first. Also, with IDW, they are doing a trade paperback of Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater. So if you didn't see my previous videos, this is essentially Godzilla, but, like, he's taking place around, like, all of these, like, public domain, like, film and, like, books. So, like, Sherlock Holmes, The Great Gatsby. It was a good time. I really liked it. I think they also put Dracula in there. I don't fucking know. They're doing some crazy stuff at IDW with Godzilla, and it's all been bangers. I fucking love the Godzilla comics. Oni Press is also doing a new Avengers Time series. Speaking of, like, television shows that, like, are now honestly probably better as comics. I know Ryan North did a whole run of Adventure Time comics that are really good. So they have a new series coming out. It's some good shit. It's a fucking BMO issue. Those are always good. So go check it out. That's it. I want to go watch wrestling soon. So we're done here. Anyway, if you made it this far, leave me a comment and let me know if you want me to start talking about wrestling. I will go on, like, several rants about Cody Rhodes' potential heel turn, because, like, I want Dashing Cody Rhodes back. Show a picture of Dashing Cody Rhodes. I need this fuck ass back. I'm so mad that I was, like, A, a baby, and, like, also B, not into wrestling when Dashing Cody Rhodes happened, because, like, if I was fucking, like, paying attention during this point, this would have been my favorite fucking wrestler. I mean, like, he already is now, but, like, Dashing Cody Rhodes? Dashing. Like, I fucking love his bit. I insert a clip of Dashing Cody Rhodes right now, Stack.
Not too much, though. We wouldn't want to be wasteful. Pucker up and apply.
Just look up Dashing Cody Rhodes. Play Smoke and Mirrors. That's copyrighted. I can't do that. Anyway, up here your next recommended video is an episode of Ash and Their Fantastic Friends every Saturday, 9 p.m. EST. Is another episode of Last Week in Comics, is a YouTube short, is a video I haven't even published yet. I don't fucking know. They don't tell me shit. I haven't even watched to the end of my videos. Down here is the rest of the playlist for last week in comics. I've been doing this since November 2024, so if you want to know what happened since then in comics, I have a video for it. I mean, like, a lot of it's old and outdated now, which is why I'm like, oh, my videos aren't getting any views, like my older ones, oh, who cares? That's the nice thing about this show. It keeps me posting weekly. And then over here is my subscribe button. I'm going to be talking about collecting comics. I have to do this before I leave to go back to school, so I will be doing it. I've not made any progress on my fucking... I've not made any progress on this. Zero progress. Maybe a little bit. I'm doing videos into collecting comics. The White Wingfoot video essay is eventually going to come out. You know what my deal is at this point. And if you don't, figure it out. I'm done talking. I'm tired. I want to go watch wrestling. Tiffany I'm hoping Naomi hits someone with a briefcase. Like her fucking... I want her Money in the her Money in the Bank briefcase to be bedazzled, and I want her to hit... I need her to fucking hit Jade Cargill in the face with it. And, like, you can see, like, the imprint of, like, rhinestones on her. Like, I have a plan now that Jade is Queen of the Ring. Okay? I have a plan. Can't wait for SummerSlam. It's gonna be good. Also, like, AEW with, like, Tony Storm. Oh, my God. All In Texas is gonna be a fucking killer event. They have shirts. They have, like, Hangman shirts that say y'all in. And I need to get one for Stack. And